Hello, Golden Eagles fans. My name is Jack Minnihan, and alongside me is Mike Hoblick. Today, we will be previewing the 2022 CHSAA 5A football playoffs and, giving our predictions on who we think's going on to the next round. We're going to start off with our Golden Eagles. They're ranked number 13 and playing against number 20, Rocky Mountain. The winner of that goes on to play number 4, Grandview, who had a bye in the first round. Who also has a bye in the second quadrant, number 5, Pine Creek. They will play the winner of number 12, Legacy, and number 21, Arvada West. So, Mike, we're going to start with our school first. Who do you think's moving on? Rocky Mountain, Mountain Vista?
I think, Jack, tonight Mountain Vista will move on, as the fact that weather will be a big factor tonight, as it's supposed to be snowy, rainy around 5 o'clock, so an hour before game time. I believe that will play to the advantage of the Lobos from Rocky Mountain, but I believe that Mountain Vista, Austin Majeski is going to have a great game, I think. I think he's going to pass. I think they're going to pass a lot. I mean, even with the rain, Looney's not afraid to. But, Rocky Mountain runs for over 200 rushing yards a game, so that will play to their strengths easily. Led by Abraham Shatia, their junior running back. They do start a freshman at quarterback, though, which is interesting. I do believe that the Golden Eagles will come out on top, though, in this game.
So, with the freshman quarterback who has started 6 games this season and the senior quarterback only starting 2, do you think they'll go with the freshman who's more experienced, or would they go with the senior, although he started 2 games?
I believe that they will go with the freshman tonight, Jack. I mean, he started the last 6 games on their schedule after, I don't know if the senior didn't play well the first. I mean, they've passed a total of 70 times all year. Mount Vista averages 30 a game. These two offenses are polar opposites. And probably one of the main reasons why they do run the ball a lot, they have a lineman who's committed to BYU, their left tackle, 6'8", 315 pounds. He is a unit, so they will be running the ball mostly behind him tonight. Hopefully the defensive line can get penetration.
All right, so you Mountain Vista moving on. Would you like to give us a score prediction?
I think every time I say it's a low-scoring game, Jack, it's always the complete opposite. But tonight, it's just the weather conditions, the offenses. I think this will be maybe 24-20, something like 24-17 around that area. It's not going to be a blowout, though, I don't think, at all.
All right, so Mike has Mountain Vista moving on to play Grandview in the next round. Now let's move on to Legacy and Arvada West.
So this game is interesting, Jack. Arvada West is ranked 21st in this bracket. They started the season ranked in the top 10 in the CHSAA poll. They lost by 7 to Thunderbirds in the first week, and they have a tough schedule. I mean, and Legacy coming in at 8-2, one of the hottest teams in the state in 5A right now. I believe this game is up for grabs for me. I think Legacy will move on, but they're gonna have a fight in the A West. I believe that's Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Yes.
So
Friday night. Majority of the playoff games are going to be on Friday night. Vista just had the one that's on Thursday. I think there's only one other team who's playing on Thursday. All right, second quadrant is done with. Now let's move on to the first. Number 1 seed, Cherry Creek, who's been an absolute powerhouse tonight, only losing 2 games the entire season, and one of those was actually to Grandview. So Grandview, they're not going to be a force you want to reckon with here.
Absolutely not. Cherry Creek, I mean, this is a powerhouse at this point. They've won 3 straight state titles here in 5A. I mean, this is the definition of a powerhouse, like I just said. They will have to play the winner of Fountain Fort Carson Eagle Crest. That game is very interesting to me. Fountain Fort Carson upset Regis, who's ranked 7th. We'll get to them later. They beat them last Saturday in a day game. I don't know the score, but it was a very close game. They were on the road. They beat them. And Eagle Crest comes in. They're also very interesting. They had also an incredibly tough schedule, and they put them in that playoffs at 17 seed. So we'll find out. That's probably the game of the first round, if I'm being honest with you, Jack.
Then, in the next game, we have number 9 Thunder Ridge against number 24 Doherty. The winner of that will go on to play the 8th seed Arapahoe. Mountain Vista did take Thunder Ridge to double overtime earlier this year. Unfortunately, they lost 34-31. A couple things didn't go that way in their game, but we're hoping that Mountain Vista can meet up with Thunder Ridge in possibly the Final Four.
Yeah.
It's a long shot, but it could happen. Who do you have winning that game?
I got Thunder Ridge all the way. I hate saying it, Jack, I really do, but they play the 24 seed Doherty. Doherty's not a bad team, coming in with, I believe, a 7-3 record, but their schedule compared to Thunder Ridge is nothing. Thunder Ridge with 1 loss in the year, coming to Valor, of course, and they are coming off a win at Rock Canyon, coming down at the last minute, so I think Thunder, and I know we're not doing second round games. I think Thunder Ridge moves on and beats Arapahoe in the second round. I mean, I'll talk about Arapahoe for a second. Arapahoe is a very interesting team, I guess you could say. The first game of the year, I believe they lost. I don't know can't remember if they beat or lost to Legacy 10-3. They kind of went. They're not as good as they were last year. Last year they were maybe I think they were top. Were they ranked 4? It was like the 4th seed or something like that. They did, however, the reason they are so high is that they did beat Grandview a couple weeks ago. In fact, so that's an interesting game. I mean, Thunder Ridge and Arapahoe met in the playoffs last year too. So
Number 2, Valor has the first round bye. They will play the winner of Legend and Pooter. Then you have number 7, Regis Jesuit. They will move on to play the winner of Fossil Ridge and Mullen. Mike, let's start off with Legend against Pooter. Who do you got? 15 against 18.
This is really interesting, Jack. I mean, Legend they're not as good as they were last year, but they're still really good. That is the other game that is tonight too, Jack. That's what we were talking about. I believe Legend will beat Pooter because Legend's schedule compared to Pooter's is way better just because of their league that they're in. They have a lot more competitiveness, but definitely do not count Pooter out of this game. I mean, Mount Vista played them last year in the first game of the year, only beat them 17-0. Wasn't a blowout, but yeah. I think Legend will move on and play Valor.
Now we got Fossil Ridge and Mullen. Who do you have in that game?
This is the 10 versus 23 seed game. Fossil Ridge being the 10. Jack, if there's an upset that's in this first round, it's that one. Now
It's this one.
There's a reason for that. Mullen's record is not the best. I believe it's either losing record or it's 500. But their schedule is so they played some of the best teams in the state. Not just in in 5A either. Mullen always seems to come back from like everything. Like it seems like every single year except when we beat him first round, our freshman year. I believe they will upset Fossil Ridge though. I know that's a long shot, but I just have a weird feeling that that's gonna happen, Jack. So we'll see what happens.
All right, so that's the third quadrant. Let's move on to our last and very least quadrant, the fourth one. The number 3 seed Ralston Valley gets the bye. They will be playing the winner of number 14 and number 19. Fairview's number 14, 19th is Chatfield. Then we have number 6 Columbine, who will be playing the winner of number 11 Rock Canyon and number 2 Cherokee Trail. Mountain Vista and Rock Canyon actually faced earlier this year, and Mountain Vista disrupted their undefeated season. Yeah. We were on the call for that game. It was a moment.
Yeah,
let's just say that.
It really was, Jack. And they haven't really been the same since that game, if I'm being honest with you. They did come away with, I believe they are 1-2 since that game. They had an undefeated season on their mind, and it just kind of all came crumbling to an end at the final second.
Well, Rock Canyon also had to play some hard teams, such as Thunder Ridge and Valor. So there's a reason for them going 1-2.
Absolutely. I mean, and they should have beat. They were up 10-0 with 3 minutes left in the game against Thunder Ridge. Thunder Ridge had a touchdown and then an onside kick, field goal, and I believe they had another onside kick. So it's just they fell apart in the last seconds of that game too. So
seems in the game against us and Thunder Ridge, the onside kick kicks them in the butt both times. All right, so you have Rock Canyon moving on in that game?
Yeah. Cherokee Trail is not a bad team. They did lose to the Rocky Mountain, who were playing tonight. I think Canyon will win, though. They probably have a little bit of fire right now in them. I think they'll win.
Then we move on to number 14 Fairview against number 19 Chatfield. Who do you have?
Another upset that I could see happening, Jack. The reason being is Chatfield is 19th, but they also jumped up to 5A. They were in 4A last year. They decided that they wanted to jump up because they dominate 4A every year. So they had for the first year being in 5A, they had a really tough schedule. This one's a toss-up to me. I think Fairview will win, but I think that will come down to the final minutes in that game for sure. So I think Fairview wins.
So a question more for you: if the hypothetical of Rock Canyon and Columbine ends up happening, and Rock Canyon beats Columbine, do you think they have a good chance to beat Ralston Valley or not?
I don't know. I think that this is one of the maybe 2 quadrants that I have the 2 highest seeds going to the Elite 8, I guess you could say, because Ralston Valley and Columbine are such good football teams. Columbine's only loss was to Ralston Valley. Ralston Valley's schedule was ridiculous, and they came away, I want to say 8-2 or 7-3 record. They're just ready for it. I don't think Rock Canyon will beat Columbine, but if they do, I do not believe they will beat Ralston Valley. They could be an underdog story though. I mean, I don't know anything. We don't know anything. It's high school football, but yeah, that's what I think.
All right, so those are Mike's predictions for the first round. We'll find out if he gets 100% or absolutely bombs it. Any final thoughts for Rocky Mountain against Mountain Vista?
Dress warm. This is gonna be a dogfight tonight at Halftime Help Stadium. That's all I'm gonna say.
First playoff game in 7 years. The last time the Golden Eagles were at home was in 2015. There's been a new name since then, a new coach, entirely new teams. We'll find out who walks away with it. We will be live at 5:45 on VistaNow.